So this is the style that probably I've been taking to and playing the most of right now. Red style. I find it extremely fun because I think the effects of the cards are really interact with the mastery well as interact with personalities in this game very well. And it's just plain freaking fun to play. And you always feel like you're kind of racing not only against the opponent in anger, but you're also racing against killing yourself almost because you're drawing a lot of cards from the deck. The masteries having you draw and discard cycle cards.
You're almost racing yourself in a lot of cases.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive style, exactly the way it should be. So kudos on that. I also really enjoy the anger lowering mechanic. I think it adds a lot to the style. It takes cards, especially when you talk about red heel kick. It took a card that was overpowered in the old game. Hands down. In the old game it did +6, raise your anger 1, and you got a card. So it was a one of the strongest attacks that red style had to begin with, and then you got an additional card. They reduced the power a lot. So red heel kick only does +2, but it gains you an anger, and then you can pay 2 anger to do the old effect of red axe heel kick. So you essentially...
Still scary, but it's much more balanced.
Right, yeah. So you can... And the potential of this card, it had to be mentioned because it's definitely a staple in every red deck. And the potential of this card is, of course, that you lose 1 anger to do this attack, but red style gains an anger every time it criticals. So if this will critical, it will nullify its own cost in anger, and then additionally, the card that you get can gain you more anger, much more anger, or help you out in specific situations like removing an ally or removing a drill that you want to get rid of. That's nasty. So and then
we got red double strike. I mean, this is a given again, just like it was in the old game. I'm not sure. I don't remember why it's not red text. Did they change anything about it?
I think they took a was
physical attack.
Oh well, it was a combat.
It was a combat. It was a regular combat event now. So
yeah,
I mean,
so
physical
attack,
physical combat, gains 1 anger, stays in play to be used 1 more time. I mean, there's no shenanigans going on. You have to play that if you're playing red. 2 attacks, 2 anger. There's nothing else to talk about.
I chose this card specifically because of red heel kick. A lot of times you'll want to get red double strike with red heel kick because again, with the critical damage, red double strike actually has the potential to give you 4 anger, which is just crazy for 1 single card.
If you get to Vegeta 2 or 3, if you're playing Vegeta, I mean, you're doing what, +3, +4 with each attack?
Yeah. So you can definitely do critical damage when your attacks are all your attacks are doing +6 damage. I wanted to include the red shoulder grab card. It's a really good card. It makes all your attacks do critical damage for the remainder of combat. But this card, red static shot, it does a very similar effect, but is even better because it's an energy attack for 5. For the remainder of combat, all your style attacks they can't use endurance on, or they can't prevent. They can't use endurance. So they can't use endurance on your style attacks. So if you're doing 5 damage, you're doing critical damage.
Yep.
So it kind of serves the same purpose as the red shoulder grab, but it itself can gain 2 anger and also increase your overall damage for the combat. So my honorable mention card, I love this card. I added it into my decks. Not really realizing the full power of this card, and probably I should have included it in my core 3 because when you're playing red style, this card is just a win card. Because not only do you gain a level, draw a card, and cycle it with your mastery, but at the end of combat, you're de-leveling, so you're then drawing a card with your mastery without discarding. So after
It's stronger than it was in the old game. Red Escape was a preview in the Boo Saga, but you had to remove 5 commons, I think, in your discard pile to actually get the effect. This one, you just get the effect.
Right, so you'll level and be able to cycle out hopefully a better card into your hand, and then at the end of combat, after you've used all your cards in your hand and you've gained as much anger as you can, you'll de-level, and then draw a card. So you'll have a card at the end of combat. So it kind of replenishes itself in a way. Very strong card. In red style, who you're feeling are the main players right now?
Vegeta is Vegeta. I think Vegeta's the best. To be honest, I haven't heard anybody say, sorry Dave, I haven't heard anybody really talk about Gohan red. I can see Gohan, don't get me wrong, but I don't think there's any reason to run him in red over Namekian.
Yeah, Gohan red, possible to be a good, strong deck, not right now. I think red has not enough physical options for Gohan right now. I think Gohan should probably be a physical deck because he has a weaker PUR.
I think his level 1 is much more beneficial in Namekian because you can rejuve the cards you milled, rather than in red, because with red you're already milling yourself a lot and going through your deck quick. I think if you use his level 1 for 2 or 3 turns, you're going to hurt yourself, I think, more than you're going to help by doing the extra 2 damage.
It's a crapshoot, too, because the attack could always just not hit.
Yeah, you have to use it when you perform it.
Right. So, what about Goku?
A couple people have talked about Goku. I mean, obviously there's God Goku, but even just regular Goku, you could, again, with the drills, I mean, every deck has at least 1 or 2 decent drills you could pop out. I mean, it's not enough where his powers greatly benefit you, but, I mean, on the level 1 or level 2, you could pop out a drill. What's the drill? Your tactical drill. Your anger can't be lowered. Mm-hmm. There was another drill, I forget, that does something. I think it benefits you with critical damage, something or other. I haven't looked at red too much, so I forget what the card exactly is, but even red tactical drill alone, your anger can't be lowered. If they crit you, it means nothing. Right. And with the level 2 with Goku, you could lower a level, which would benefit you with the mastery also. Right. So it would help you draw a card.
Right, you could always just play God Goku. And use the level 2 just to make sure you stay on God Goku.
You could actually. You could use level 1 God. You could use level 2 for the Searcher and the lower level. So at the end of combat, you lower a level from level 2 and then put out red tactical drill if it's in your discard pile.
And then you lower a level and discard it.
Yep. No, you would lower first to level 1.
Oh, okay.
Then you would put the drill out. So then you tactical drill, which means on God Goku you could pop back up to level 2 quick.
Yeah. Decent.
Right.